What's going on, Philifam? Welcome to the next layer, our all new second channel where we go into deeper dives on specific builds or compilation videos and all the kind of extra bonus content that you guys have let us know you wanted. So recently you guys really enjoyed our video on the box turtle build, which is an open source filament changer similar to the AMS, which is a lot easier to build and should be a lot more reliable. You guys loved that video, and we had a lot of footage in addition to the live streams that we did. Most of the build was done on live streams, but there was a lot of footage on top of that that didn't make it into the video, or we only used small segments of it. And I know that many of you guys are considering building this thing, just judging by the comments. So we thought that we would do a deeper dive into the kind of full process of building one step by step, and then condense all that down into a few minutes, narrated, so you can see what actually goes into it, and also what gets left on the editing room floor that doesn't make it into the flow of a more narrated and scripted video. So enjoy the video, let us know with the comments below, and do make sure to check out the full-length video if you haven't already. You don't have to watch that before this one, you can watch it after, but if you like this video, you're definitely gonna like the more polished one. Oh, and make sure to be subscribed because we've got a lot of really exciting content just like this and some other formats that we're exploring here on the next layer. All right, let's get into the build. This kit was provided to me by LDO Motors, and as far as I know, LDO is the only company currently making kits. I printed all of the parts out in Polymaker ASA, my favorite filament, in black and orange. It took quite a bit of time. There's a pretty significant amount of printing that you do need to do, and then it uses a lot of heat set inserts, which, you know, are incredibly satisfying to add in. The guide is really useful because it actually allows you to color the parts so that you're seeing parts on the guide in the exact color that they're going to be, and it doesn't use a PDF. It actually is a step-by-step interactive website. So you can see here, I'm just going through finding the parts because I have this horrible habit of putting them all in one big bin as I collect them from all the different prints. And then you can see on the bottom right-hand side quite a bit of purge lines and brims and all that kind of stuff. Because when I print ASA, I always like to use a brim just because it's cheap insurance against curling or detaching from the build plate. You can see here I did a lot of this build on the live stream, which was really fun, but inevitably, as you guys have told me in the comments, I do make a lot more mistakes when I'm live streaming because I'm focused on entertaining you guys, and I do hope that those live streams are entertaining. You can check them out on the main channel, on the same channel where you find the full and polished video of this build. Now that I have all of the heat set inserts in, it's time to go ahead and start assembling the actual extruders. One cool thing about this build, which I think makes it so much easier, is you're not building 8 or 12 of everything, but rather only 4, which is a lot less work. You can see here that my friend and patron Jacques came down to help us with a live stream and do some of the build. You can see that he is assembling the frame, which is made out of 2020 extrusion, and he's now got the hub on the back. Then once you have the 2020 extrusions put in, you put all of the skirts and the actual trays. Now you might think this is weird, like the filament is going to go in and what's it going to sit on, those hexagons? But actually, you're looking at the bottom right now, and we're going to turn it over. So all the electronics kind of sit in there, and then if you want it to be enclosed, you build on top on the part that is now on the table. I would love to say this was the last time that we had to put the frame together, but I ended up taking it apart like 3 or 4 times when I realized that I had put things in wrong or backwards, or I just needed to adjust things. You can see that Jacques also has the actual extruder motors, or feeder motors, I guess you would call them, all assembled. These use your kind of standard gears, which I believe LDO sources from Bondtech, and basically they're extruders. You have kind of 4 extruder motors, which is what makes the box turtle so different from something like an ERCF or an MMU or even an AMS. It has 4 individual stepper motors, one for each of the filaments, And that's going to make it a whole lot more reliable, but as I mentioned in my full video, it also makes it more expensive. That reliability and that speed does come at a cost, literally. Building each of the extruders is not hard, it's a whole lot of fun. We didn't run into any difficulties until we actually got to these, the re-spoolers. And that's because these guys use a very, very small motor, and all the mechanisms have to be really, really precise and delicate. So getting those together takes a little bit longer, and if there's anything that is not perfectly aligned, you will end up, as we're doing here, taking them apart and putting them back together. We actually found out that the MJF nylon gears that LDO provided with the kit are actually causing more problems than if you just 3D print your own ABS gears. You can see here, we've now gotten the re-spoolers all assembled and with the PTFE collets in. Here's what assembling one of those looks like. You can see that there are linear bearings in there, and they just mount on the top. And the only function of these, and the reason why they use such a small motor, is to re-spool the filament and roll it back onto the spool. With that said, because they're small motors, if the fitment isn't perfect, if something is rubbing up against the tray or against the edge, you're going to have to take things apart, and that's why we ended up taking apart those 2020 extrusions and the tray and rebuilding. I feel like every single build we end up rebuilding some stuff, and you can see here I'm now replacing those MJF nylon gears with some simple ABS printed ones. And we'll go ahead and get these assembled and put the included rubber wheels on them so that they grab onto the filament spool properly. Up next, you can see I'm assembling the turtleneck, which is the buffer system built for the box turtle. And yes, this works just like a normal buffer. You can see now we're getting the dedicated PCB board, assembling the rest of the buffers, and then we need to wire everything up. Once again, I had to take off the extrusions, set up all the passive idlers, and it's time to start testing and connecting it to the printer. Once you do test and connect it to the printer, it's time to do cable management, which I kind of rushed because, again, it sits under the unit. You're not going to see it, and as long as things don't protrude, you're fine. Cable management done. Now it's time to add the cosmetic pieces all around. You can see I did have some things wrong, so I had to once again take apart the 2020 extrusions before adding the rubber feet and getting the little filament feeders set up. So there you have it, second channel folks. That is the build process of the box turtle. Once again, you can check out the full length video if you want kind of more analysis and what went wrong and recommendations for building it. And you're welcome to check out the live streams if you want to see really step by step. You can check out the link in the description and watch those full-length live streams. Maybe put them on while you're building something yourself, and we can kind of build stuff together. Whatever you do, do make sure to subscribe, not only to the main channel, but also to this channel, because like I said, we've got some really, really exciting stuff coming up. And let me know in the comments below what kind of stuff you would like to see on this channel. Do you want more of these types of build montages? Do you want versions of them without vocals and without voiceover? Do you want compilations of some of our series like the filament recycler build? Let us know. All right, thanks for watching. Happy 3D printing.